we won't be prepared. And so what I want to suggest to you today, I think, is exactly what's in session 2, page 38. It's safe to say that in order to get into God's presence, or in order to worship, we got to do some planning. Is that safe to say? In other words, what I'm saying is that we just can't go. Let's just take it and bring it to worship. Bring it to the building. If we don't plan to come to the building, planning to study, planning to worship, we've got to sit back and think about what we're preparing to do. If I come to worship, that the result of our public worship really tells a story about our private worship. Really tells a story about our private worship. And so therefore, on many instances, when we come to the building on Sunday, let's turn that around. Let's help the choir out. Let's help the preacher out. Let's help whoever's speaking out. And we do that by simply preparing ourselves in private for what is about to happen corporately. So tell me what you think will happen if you got 100 folk in here and there ain't nobody prepared for nothing. So on some Sundays, on Mondays, in preacher talk, we say, Doc, had a hard crowd Sunday, Doc. It's hard. And so what we're saying is that it was hard. Nobody was worshiping. Nobody was praising. Nobody was engaged. Wasn't no amens. Wasn't nothing. Talk to me. That fair? Make sense? Okay. It wasn't working at noon. I plugged it up wrong.
Or what we're not planning. Because a lot of times if we don't do anything, that's the same thing as accepting, like you said, what we're going to do. So a lot of times we don't prepare at home or in private because we are not looking for anything public. Yeah. Or I'm studying my Sunday school lesson, and all of a sudden, or I'm studying my Sunday school lesson, and all of a sudden, I'm going to the back to bedroom I get back there, what was I coming back here for? That's a trick of the enemy to get me distracted from what I am about to get into, because he wants me to allow myself to be distracted and go away from what God, because at that moment, God's about to pour something into me. At that moment, God's about to pour something into me that I needed.
So is it safe to say, you correct me if I'm wrong, you say, be honest, be transparent. Sometimes I'm not doing with my time what I could be doing. So you know what I do sometimes? How I convince myself to do something different? Well, I'm tired right now, and I need to rest my mind. And whenever the clock wakes me up and I go to the restroom, whenever my biological clock wakes me up and I go to the restroom, then I'll do some time. Then I'll do some reading. Then I'll do some study. And you know what inevitably happens? I don't. I say, well, it's 4, it's 3. I'll wait 30 more minutes. So we all have the same amount of time. It's just that you and I don't always prioritize the things of God. Okay? Minister Shanta, go ahead.
I'm saying the same thing that I think you just said, paraphrasing. We make time for what we want to make time, that we place on any and everything. And that's one of the things I love about Malaysia. Like it, or I didn't want to, and that's the level of honesty without making excuses. Because you want to make time for it, but then we give excuses as to why things do or don't happen.
Absolutely.
Our level of worship, where I'm not there yet, or God is still working on me, or which are all true.
However,
However, years. So it's just a matter of that level of significance, because I've been saying I'm gonna work out every morning since January 1st. So it's just what we make time for what we want to make
absolutely,
time for.
absolutely. Y'all, when you said that, y'all remember in Living Color, and they had the young brother who was still attached to the umbilical cord to his mama. He was, 40-something years old. And when they get on the bus, and when he would make a scene, she'd squeeze. Y'all remember that? And so as funny and as crazy as that looks, that's exactly what happens when we still on milk. When we've been around long enough, we have developed teeth, we know how to chew, our digestive system is working, we just choose to do milk. Does that make sense? Does that describe any of us? So the next question that I have here is, what do you do? What do you consistently plan for? Just throw the ball at whoever you want to hear from. The Kimber, turn around. No. What do you consistently plan for?
Oh, what do I consistently plan for? Dinner.
Dinner? Okay.
I have to plan. I got to make sure it's something everybody's going to eat. I got to make sure it's enough.
Talking to the boss.
I got to make sure it's enough. Got to make sure it's, I got all the ingredients. I got to make sure that it works out for my family, that I'm capable. Is it on the grill? Is it on the stove? Or is it in a crock pot? Like,
Did y'all hear that planning? Did y'all hear that detailed planning? That's how she plans for dinner. Okay, someone else, share. What do you plan for?
And work every day, and
Got her badge to prove it. Go ahead, girl.
and other things that I need to do right then and there. Otherwise, it's a mess.
Chaos.
Yes.
Chaos. Okay. So I think you get exactly what I'm saying through this. Someone suggested this afternoon that they plan for the next day by setting the alarm that night to get up the next morning, but when they get up the next morning, they plan that the clock's going to wake them up 15 minutes before time. So if they want to get up at 5:30, it's really 5:15. Okay, and they go through their day of what they need to do, and that's really how all of us do. That's how we plan. Listen to me. That's how we plan for the things that are important that day. Is that fair?
Yeah, but when you do that, you lay there and you say, "Oh, I need about 10 minutes sleep. Oh, I can do this later at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock." But by then, my whole day is ruined. If I don't get up when I say I'm going to get up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The plan is shot. Do y'all know? Can I throw this at you for free? You cannot get up at a decent hour the next day if you go to bed just 3 hours before you're supposed to get up. You can't do it. Because inevitably, when it's time for you to get up, you're going to sleep right on through it. So you have to train yourself to even cut, here it is, to cut or turn the television. The question is, do we consistently plan to meet God through worship and through praise? We do not, because reality says, don't beat me up, it's not that important. Reality says, for most of us, is that God sustains us. We're doing okay. Life is great. He sustains us in our disobedience, but he blesses us in our obedience. That's where we got to get. We've got a plan. So it is possible. So therefore, he instructs us, and this is Priscilla's try. God instructs us in how to plan for opportunities to worship him. How does God instruct you to plan for opportunities to worship him? It's very simple. How do we set, I'm talking about at home now. I'm at home right now. So very simple. We set the atmosphere for worship. If we're at home by ourselves, we turn on our phones on some worship music. Turn on, all of our TVs has YouTube. You can find anything that you want to find in terms of any kind of music on television. So you set the atmosphere for worship. You set the atmosphere and you worship, particularly if you're at home by yourself. It's not, no one is watching you at home. Those are opportunities to worship. And we should take those opportunities. However, she says, I think I may have put however, that's my words for today. However, we must turn that planning into action. We can plan all day, but if we never carry it out, then we won't get to where we need to get to. We got to plan, we got to plan, we got to plan. And so the challenge, that, just from what you've said to me over the last 4 or 5 weeks, what we all have said is that we have a problem with finding the time. We have a problem with distractions. We have a problem being consistent. And I want to suggest to you that you and I can change that out from a problem to an opportunity, but it's all in what we do. Nothing that we do will make a difference if we don't have an action plan. If you're planning something, whatever Veronica just told us that she plans her dinner. She has to make sure that all what she's going to cook, the whole family is going to like. She has to make sure that she has all the ingredients to cook it. She has to make sure that it's going to be enough for everybody to get at least, what she didn't say this, but enough for everybody to get at least 2 or 3 helpings. Okay? So that's her plan. That's the plan. But if she never gets up and buys the food that she doesn't have, if she does not come and cut the onions up or the green peppers up, if she does not actually mix the meal together, it was a good plan, but ain't nobody gonna get fed. And so our plans are important, but we have to take the time to put some action to them. Talk to me, what are you thinking? Somebody, what are you thinking? Anybody? Anybody? I'm gonna have a long catch. You can catch it? Can't catch it? Okay. All right. Take that to Miss Veronica for me, please. Thank you.
Thank you. So but you also have to have the knowledge of what it is you're doing on whether or not that's fit for you and your family.
Oh, did y'all just hear that profound message? Do you know you can find some of the best recipes on Facebook? I made some dirty spaghetti last week, and I promise you, I ate on that spaghetti all week.
Oh, Pastor, don't do leftovers. Hold on, write that down.
But I want y'all to catch. I mean, my point is, get a book with the recipe or whatever other magazine. This is God's holy word. This is God speaking to us. And every time we read the word of God, we want God to say something to us. We want whatever we read to become applicable. Go ahead, minister. You're going to say something. Do you have the ball?
I do, but
Okay.
it was good, but you and stay that.
Yeah.
So even in the midst of all of that, because it has become a habit, that fear or that intrepidation, somebody used that word, I'm there. To rest trepidation, somebody used that word, I'm there. To rest in God. It's a rest in God and the covering that we have when we practice this, when we practice the connection, when we practice the intentional worship. Because I could have easily went to, oh my God,
Yes, right.
oh Lord of mercy, the fear and letting that set in, but I had to practice that habit.
Yeah.
So I